for aura, betrayal for betrayal. Hey love, welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Bello and this is the Story Podcast. Here we read out stories of people that want our opinion, that want advice, or just need people to judge something for them, like a judge a situation. So automatically, if you're on this channel, you're a judge because I need you to put on your judge hat, open your ears, and listen to the story so you can give your advice and your opinion. Also, if you have a story to tell us and you want us to read it out and give our opinions and all that, you can send it to the email on the screen. Thank you so much. Without further ado, let's get right into the story. My best friend ruined my life and I decided to ruin hers too. Am I the asshole? I was very happy with my life until my best friend ruined it. She set a trap for me to fail, and me being stupid and naive, I fell right into it. The most painful part is my mom always saw through her. She was against my friendship with her from the very beginning. My mom told me this girl was going to lead me astray, but my mom always complains about everything, so I didn't listen to her. My best friend was the coolest girl in my class. We were only 15, but already she had a tattoo. I felt it was like a privilege to be chosen as her closest friend, and she seemed to genuinely like me. We used to call ourselves soulmates. I was so foolish back then. There were signs that maybe this person didn't want the best for me. She always influenced me to do things I was not comfortable doing. But she was my best friend, and I thought she had my best interests at heart. Everything started a few years ago. Let's call my best friend Angela. I met a guy who we'll also call Desmond. A few months after we finished senior high school. At first, I was dating him because all my friends had boyfriends. He attended a school nearby. I met him at the beach and we would always talk. I was not even comfortable kissing him. He was okay with just talking, and I remember he made a move to kiss me a few months after we started dating, but I pulled back because I was not ready, and after that, he never tried it again. Good boy. I told Angela what had happened, and she called me a village girl, saying that all girls kiss their boyfriends, and that if I didn't, he would end up kissing another girl. It was because of these words that I kissed him the next time I saw him, even though I didn't want to. This was the same way she pressured me into sleeping with him, even though both Desmond and I were not ready. Gradually, my relationship with Desmond turned into something more. He took my virginity and I took his. He genuinely loved me and we had so many plans. He was very hardworking, and 2 years after we started dating, he had already bought a small car that he was using for Uber. Wow, he's really hardworking. Even though he came from a poor family, he was also schooling at the same time and doing well. Desmond never liked Angela. He didn't like the way she dressed or the way she spoke. He always said she had negative vibes. But at that point, I had been friends with Angela for years and I told him I knew her better than he did. Angela also didn't like him and called him a broke boy who didn't deserve me. She always said that with my beauty and body, I could get rich men eating from the palms of my hands. And yet, I chose to settle for a boy driving Uber. I always struggled when she said this, and I told her Desmond was the one I love. No one else compared to him. Desmond and I had plans to get married immediately after I finished school. And at this point, I had introduced Desmond to my mom, and she really liked him. In 300 level, first semester, Angela convinced me to get a tattoo even though I really didn't want to. She had been trying to get me to do it for years. It was her birthday, and she wanted me to get a tattoo as a birthday present for her. You want me to get a tattoo as a birthday present for you? Something that's permanent on my body for you. I've never had that before. It sounds very, very narcissistic. I didn't want to, but she kept asking and asking until I finally gave in. I knew that Small was going to be mad at me when he saw the tattoo. He was a very strict Christian and hated tattoo. I decided to get a small butterfly tattoo on my neck, just a very tiny butterfly. Since it was small, I thought a butterfly would not be bad. He would talk about it, but eventually he would get used to it. We arrived at the tattoo parlor and I chose my design. The tattoo artist was already working on someone else. I showed him the design I wanted and I sat down, while Angela walked around the shop pointing at tattoos she wanted to do next. I left to go use the bathroom, and when I came back, I saw Angela showing the tattoo artist something on her phone, and he nodded. He started working on my back soon after this, and it was taking longer than I thought it would. The whole process was very painful. After a few hours, he finally finished, and imagine my shock when I saw a huge butterfly at my back. Ah, I would be so pissed. That was not what I wanted. I broke into tears immediately and asked the tattoo artist if this was a prank. He looked confused. He pointed at Angela and said she said I wanted a different design. I turned to her and asked her what was going on, but she just laughed and said the bigger tattoo looked better. On whose body? On my body? Who does things like this? On my tattoos are actually very sacred. Like it is something that stays on your skin for, if not forever, it's actually forever, right? And you decide what they put on mine. Are you mad? And even the tattoo artist, are you not supposed to listen to the person that owns the body? Isn't it the person that owns the body that's supposed to give you the design to do? Don't piss me off. I should have ended my friendship with her then, but I didn't. Yes, you should have. And what she did next cost me everything. I hated the tattoo on my body, and I told the artist to take it off immediately, but he said he couldn't, and that I would have to go for a laser removal. He said it would be expensive since the tattoo was big and very painful. All hell broke loose when Desmond saw it. He was so disappointed and we fought over it for weeks. But gradually he forgave me and we moved past it. I didn't talk to Angela for a few days after what she did, but I forgave her and let her back into my life. One of my lecturers showed an interest in me. He was around 50 to 60 years old. He started flirting with me after classes and then took my number. I was not interested in him at all, and the only reason I gave him my number in the first place was because I was scared he would be angry with me if I didn't, which might affect my grades. When I told Angela about this, she told me to flirt back and said he would give me good grades if I acted like I was interested. This was just harmless flirting at first, and then she started talking about how rich he was and how he would give me everything I wanted. She said Desmond would never know, and that with older men like my lecturer, they didn't even want sex. He would be a sugar daddy and sponsor me. He would give me things that Desmond couldn't give me. I told her no instantly. I was not interested, but Angela didn't give up. One day, she took my phone and texted the lecturer. Hey God, this your friend is mad though. She pretended to be me and told him I wanted to take things to another level between us. She also added a lot of sexual comments. Hmm. Once again, she had done something I didn't want, and she just saw it as a joke. The lecturer was interested immediately. I didn't know what else to do. How do I tell him my friend used my phone? He would think I'm taking him for granted, and it would seem as if I was playing with him. So I decided to play along. He started sending me lots of money and giving me good grades. He even helped Angela avoid receipting her failed papers because I asked him to. He just changed her grade and passed it. Then he started asking for sex. This was the last thing I wanted to do. But final exams were approaching and I felt stopped. I thought it was time to tell Desmond what I have been doing, but Angela said no. She told me Desmond would leave me if he found out. Also, my lecturer was definitely going to fail me if I didn't sleep with him. I didn't know how she did it, but she convinced me to sleep with my lecturer. Ha! Any small thing, she. I get that this girl is a bad influence, but I'm honestly tired of you blaming everything on her and not taking accountability, honestly. She said it would be quick and that it was no big deal. I would never forget the day I slept with my lecturer. I felt like I was outside my body. I hated what I was doing, I regretted it immediately after I entered the hotel room. We had intercourse and I left. I cried myself to sleep for days. I had betrayed Desmond and I couldn't look him in the eye. I wrote my final exams and I passed. A few days before school was reopened, I received a text from Desmond to come to his place immediately. I knew as soon as I saw him that he knew what I had done. He cried like a baby as he confronted me. My God, I feel so bad for Desmond. He doesn't deserve this, honestly. I cried as he cried, and he tried to forgive me, but he never forgot, and we ended up breaking up. I felt like I lost a part of my soul when Desmond left me, and he never told me how he found out. Even then, I didn't hate Angela because I blamed myself, not her. Around this period, Angela was dating a man, we would call him Justin. He was an older man who was more than 20 years older than her. He was filthy rich and interested in marrying her and taking her abroad. According to what she told me, when she met him, he was married with 4 kids, but he was not happy with his wife, so he ended up divorcing her. He was the one who had rented a 3 bedroom house she stayed in. He gave her a monthly allowance, which she spent on designer clothes and shoes. She never saved a penny, saying saving is for the poor and that she could never be poor. Okay. Their relationship was getting serious and she felt he was going to propose marriage soon. Once they get married, she would never lack anything. It had always been Angela's dream to marry a rich man who would give her the life she said she deserved, and her dreams were finally coming true. Now, Angela didn't love this man at all. She was still in love with her ex and was sleeping with him on the side. She gave him some of the money she took from this older man. This was Angela's life and it didn't concern me. So all I did was advise her to leave her ex and concentrate on the new man. But she didn't listen. At this point, I was still heartbroken, trying to heal but failing. I felt like trash, and no matter what I did, I couldn't stop thinking about how I messed up my life. Still, I never blamed Angela, not even once, until I found out who revealed my situation with the lecturer to Desmond. I think we're all thinking what I'm thinking, and we're all thinking who did it, and we know who did it. But let's continue reading. I went to her place once and was looking for something in the bedroom when I saw a small touchscreen phone. This was not a personal phone, and I had never seen it before. I was curious, so I started going through it since there was no passcode. That was when I saw a long text message from her to Desmond, detailing everything that had happened between me and the lecturer. To say I was shocked is an understatement. I said it. We knew who did it. I didn't understand why she had done this. She used an unknown number so that Desmond would not know it was her. Why would she ruin my life like this? I wanted to confront her immediately, but I didn't. I didn't even know what to say to her. It was at that point that I realized how much she had messed up my life from the day I met her. She had never wanted the best for me. I had been so blind to all her tactics. I just told her I was not feeling well and left her place. I cried throughout my journey home. I knew she was meeting her ex that night at her apartment, so I had taken the older man's number before I left her place. I called him and told him everything. I didn't even hide my identity. He knew I was a very good friend of Angela's, so he believed every word I said. I told him they were meeting that night at her apartment. He went there and caught them red handed. Her ex ran away, but he beat the hell out of Angela and kicked her out of his apartment. She called her ex to accommodate her since she was now homeless, but he said she could not come to his place because he was staying with his baby mama. She came to my place with her bags and her face was swollen. At that point, she didn't know I was the one who had told the older man everything. She was in tears when she saw me and tried to hug me. She narrated everything that had happened and said things like men were scum and that she was tired of them anyways. She soon started noticing that I did not say a word to her and that I didn't hug her back when she hugged me. She told me she was going to stay with me for some time until she got back on her feet. She didn't even ask me. She just told me she was moving in. The only word that came out of my mouth was no. Finally. She looked at me in surprise, and that is when I told her I was the one who told the older man about her affair. You should have seen this girl crying and asking me how I could betray her like this. She was demanding to know why I messed up her life. I just looked at her and laughed. The only thing I said was, go and check the phone in your bedroom and you would understand why. I love a good revenge. Her face changed again and she started stammering. She started explaining herself. She said I deserved better than Desmond, and that since I couldn't see that, she had decided to take it upon herself to free me from him. Hey, as per God, Abby. I stared at her in disbelief and screamed at her to leave my house. She was still talking and trying to explain when I grabbed her clothes and pushed her out of my house. I know that at the end of the day, I'm to blame for everything that happened in my life. Finally, you're taking accountability. I saw the red flags and still remained friends with her. I messed up big time. But if she hadn't been in my life, I would still have Desmond and I would still be happy. She's going around spreading lies about how I ruined her life because I was jealous of her. I'm sorry my story is long. I just want to know if I am the asshole. Ding ding ding. This court is ruling you as not the asshole. You are not the asshole. Aura for aura. Betrayal for betrayal. Actually, I don't even think you betrayed her because she did it first. So you were just revenging, honestly. Honestly, I love this story. It's interesting. I love the fact that you got back at her and she felt exactly how painful it was. Actually, did she even feel how painful it was? Because yours was literally you getting to lose the love of your life, and she was just it was hers was just her getting to lose somebody that gives her money, and she can always find another sugar daddy. Or finding another love of your life, it's not very easy, especially if for someone like this one. So focus on yourself, focus on building character, also focus on building tenacity and being able to say no when you need to say no. Because honestly, all the things that you allowed this girl to drag you through, it wasn't necessary at all. You could have said no. You honestly could have said no multiple times, and the sky will not fall. Any friend that cannot take your no as no is not supposed to be in your life, anyways. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Over to you, judges and co advisors. What do you think? Do you think she's the asshole for, revenging? Do you think she shouldn't have revenge and she should just let it go and all that? Let me hear your thoughts. Please, you guys, let me hear your thoughts. If you agree with me, just say I agree with everything you said. Your comments, your likes are very important so I can continue doing this. It is encouraging so I can continue pushing through and giving you guys lovely stories. We have so many stories to come, okay? By the way, if you have any story to tell or you want us to give you an opinion, advice, or whatever it is, just send it to the email on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye. Namaste. I love you guys.